is the most slept on I've been in my whole life. Like even when I was in high school, I wasn't this slept on. Like I felt like I could have been top 5 in my class. I should have been top 10. Number 1 point guard, I felt like, but I was number 4. So was I slept on a little bit? Maybe, but this is, I mean, it's starting to feel a certain way. But for me, I know it's all, I've learned over the years, there's a lot of recency bias that goes on, especially in media. And I mean, I got a podcast too, so I'm not just throwing y'all into all the media.
Right.
I know what you do, but like, I know there's a lot of recency bias that goes into media. And I know if we start winning, imagine the Wizards as a number 1 team in the East next year, what people are gonna be saying. So it's just like, I can't get caught up in what people are saying now, as mad as it makes me, and what people say about me is not true. And yes, I haven't played very much in a year and a half because of some injuries and a trade and things like that. But trust me, I'm probably just entering my prime. Like the way people talk about me is just funny, and I just can't wait to go out there and play. And I know that's what changes the narrative. So I can't necessarily get caught up in what people think right now. I got to go out there and do it again.
All right, man. We rolling. What? So Trae Young opted out a $48 million, about $49 million contract. He betting on himself. They never got a done deal last season with the Wizards. Never think he made an appearance for the Wizards. That's one of the reasons why the NBA kind of, did what they did with the draft lottery and tanked it. In your boy CJ opinion, they should just take the 9 playoff teams and put them in the tournament for about a week. Get the playoff teams a week. And all those teams can play for the number 1 pick. And you can slot them as they lose out the tournament. You can slot them as they lose out the tournament. You can have a first place game and a second, and gold, silver, and that you can do. You have a gold medal game and a bronze medal game. Even after everybody loses. So you got the championship for the gold medal. It could be a doubleheader. The 2 people that lost the semifinals can play for the 3rd and 4th pick. The loser and winner can play for the first and second pick, and then you can slot them after that, so on. But the NBA don't have no creativity, bro. If you really want to abolish the draft lottery, let's abolish it and just make them play for it. And make them play for it. They all can play for it. Guess what? It gives your NBA players a week to rest, or 2, depending on how long you want to stretch this out for. And you don't have to do with the stupid ass play-in game. It's more meaningful than that mid-season championship, that early season championship they got. This will be big TV right here. This will be big TV. But nonetheless, yeah, what about Trae Young? Trae Young, Cade in the backcourt. He said he expected several teams to offer him the Supermax. I don't think that's going to happen. His credibility is down the shitter, but it could happen. So his agent is going to do his job. His agent's job is to go out there and get the best deal done. And to tell him what the streets are saying. So there may be teams out there that may be willing to max him out, sign and trade and max him out. Or, the conventional thought is he'll be back with the Wizards. Also, the Wizards had a number 1 pick. In my opinion, I believe Darren Peterson is the best player in the class. That's my opinion. So they could be taking Darren Peterson like, no, you can go ahead and walk home, boy. You can walk it like you talk it. But, Trae Young is interesting. I think the thing about it is this. The attitude, how I'm not saying it's true. He was selfish. He was entitled. Maybe he got humbled. But if he's going to be successful, he's going to play next to a guy like Cade Cunningham, a bigger guard. And he's going to come to a place like Detroit. You're going to guard. Don't think you're going to be able to lax off. You're going to guard. You're not going to be as ball dominant, but you're going to get your shots. Really coming to a team like Detroit versus an upstart like Washington, it might improve your credibility more. Getting around a bunch of high character men, who want to win, who actually all of them would defer to let Trae Young shoot the ball. I think Trae could be really, really good without the ball in his hand if he learned to embrace it. You know? I think it'd be something that when they find out, having somebody set you up and how easy you can get 20, how easy you can get 30, even without the usage or the abuse of the free throw line or the unethical foul baiting basketball, it's easy. But that's the beauty of Cade Cunningham, him being so big and strong. I can put a Jay Ivey back there with him. I can put a Jalen Brunson back there with him. I can put a Derek White back there. You can do whatever you want to do with him back in that backcourt. You can even put a low effort defensive player in Trae Young back there with him. And guess what? He gonna defend at a high level. Now, will Washington do a signing trade for him? Absolutely. And it probably won't cost you much to get him. But I think in these scenarios, it's best for Trae. Either you go to a championship aspiring team, right? Or you go to a lower level team like the Wizards, which on paper, they got a really good young core. And if AD stick around and the number one pick is AJ DeBanster, which I like DeBanster too, you can turn it around and you can turn the narrative. Which, for one, that means you should have just bet on yourself in the $50 million and took it. But then if you get injured, then what you got behind that? So if I can go out there and secure a long-term deal north of $50 million, I mean, I'll take it. But if you believe in yourself, and you're going to bet on yourself, they got to cash you out after this year if you do amazing things with Washington, or you go to a contender like Detroit, you do a bunch of major things. You win. I mean, honestly, I think the culture is so strong in Detroit, and I think he's so humbled at this point in his career. You know, I think he's so humbled that he would come here and embrace it. He'd probably be a solid defender, average, slightly below average defender. That's okay. I think they would allow him to really shoot the ball and get his. It'd be times where he'd be the primary ball handler. It'd be times where him and, Cade is and setting them up. I think he at the point where he rebooted. He hit rock bottom, and it's not really our rock bottom, but it's like, damn, they disrespected me. I feel disrespected. I got to remind these people who I am. I'm still a villain at the Garden for what I did to them in the playoffs. I showed up in big games. I think Detroit would do wonders for him. I think Washington could do wonders for him. I think they two good places to be. Maybe San Antonio say we would like to, try Trey Fox. Trey Fox is crazy, but Trae Young. They can use. That'd be a good fit. That's solid. All them defensive dogs around them, but I think San Antonio need an Andre Drummond type of guy coming off the bench with Wemby, and they need a Aaron Gordon, Bobby Portis, Tobias, Jeremy Grant type of four. And maybe on a lower scale of a point guard, to make all that money work, you need a guy like Dennis Schroeder to come in and just run the show for a minute in those critical moments. But that's just my opinion on it. But you start looking around the other contenders. The NBA is guard dominant. At one point, remember, man, the guards wasn't that. It was the Wilts. It was the Kareems. It was the McHales. It was the Parishes. It was the, Ralph Sampson, Sam Bowie. They got injured. But Hakeem Olajuwon, David Robinson. It was about those guys, bro. Michael Jordan changed that. Allen Iverson changed that. Kevin Garnett, Dirk Nowitzki helped change that. But honestly, I'm a Trae Young fan. I wouldn't mind it, but I don't think it's going to happen. I'd rather have Jalen Green. I'd rather have Kyrie. I'd rather have Tyler Hero. It's close between him and Hero. It's close. But, I like Trae Young. I wouldn't mind it. And I spoke on this before. I know people going to say, oh, no, I like Trae Young. I think situations and structure change. If you take a kid that's been in a situation where his mother, in a situation where, it's a bad environment. He don't have no structure, and then you take him and put him in structure, and you show him love and care and structure. I think your opinion of him will change. He will change. Structure. You put him in an championship organization. Remember Marco Wire? He had a bad rap. Got to Detroit, made one of the most critical moves in Detroit Pistons history by going to the bench and saying they need to start Dennis Rodman. But hey, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, find me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Instagram, the whole 9. Peace.